Ethan stood outside the hospital's back entrance, clutching a wrinkled bouquet of daisies he had bought from a street vendor. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of what he was about to do. The upcoming charity school dance was all anyone talked about, but for Ethan, the scholarship kid who worked nights cleaning the hospital, it was just another reminder of what he couldn't afford. Until he met her. Every evening she passed by him, the young nurse with kind eyes and a smile that could melt exhaustion. Her name tag read Lily. She treated everyone with the same gentle respect, from the janitor to the chief surgeon. Ethan admired her from afar, drawn to her warmth and humility. That night, when she found him mopping the corridor, she stopped. "You look tired, Ethan. Do you ever take a break?" He smiled shyly. "Only when someone gives me a reason to." Before he could lose courage, he blurted, "Lily, would you be my date to the school dance?" Her eyes widened, not with offense, but surprise. No one had ever asked her something so innocent, so genuine. For a moment, her world of privilege and expectation faded away. She smiled softly. "I'd love to." Ethan didn't know the truth yet, that Lily wasn't just a nurse. She was the daughter of the hospital's billionaire CEO. And soon, his world was about to change forever. The night after she said yes, Ethan couldn't stop smiling. He borrowed his roommate's suit, ironed it until the sleeves shone, and counted his savings twice, barely enough to rent a small car for the evening. It didn't matter. For the first time in years, life felt brighter. Lily, however, was torn. At the hospital, everyone knew her as the kind young nurse who never boasted about her life outside work. Few realized she was Lily Hartman, daughter of Richard Hartman, the CEO whose name was etched on the hospital's walls. She had chosen nursing to live a life of purpose, not privilege. But now, with Ethan, she feared the truth might ruin everything. When she arrived at the small school gym where fairy lights twinkled above the crowd, heads turned. Lily looked stunning in a simple blue dress, the kind that made elegance look effortless. Ethan froze when he saw her, his heart thudding like a drum. "You actually came," he whispered, still in disbelief. "Of course I did," she said, smiling. "You asked me like a gentleman." They danced, laughed, and forgot the world outside those walls. But near the end of the night, a local news crew arrived, covering the event for the hospital's charity program. The moment the camera turned toward Lily, the anchor announced, "Miss Lily Hartman, daughter of CEO Richard Hartman, joins the hospital's charity dance." The microphone slipped from Ethan's hand. The music stopped. Lily's face went pale as every eye turned toward them. Ethan took a step back, his chest tightening. You're his daughter?" he stammered. The secret she tried so hard to protect was out, and now, their worlds seemed impossibly far apart. Ethan stood frozen under the glowing lights, his dreams collapsing one heartbeat at a time. The whispers around him stung like cold rain. A CEO's daughter? Why would she come with him? Was this some kind of joke? He wanted to vanish. But Lily reached out, her hand trembling. "Ethan, please. I was going to tell you. I just wanted you to know me, not my last name." He stepped back, eyes filled with hurt. "You think it doesn't matter? You live in a world I'll never belong to." The room felt smaller with every word. Cameras flashed. People stared. Lily could see the pain behind his calm expression, the same pain of a boy who had worked for every dollar, every meal, every bit of dignity he owned. She tried to speak, but Ethan shook his head. "Thank you for saying yes, but I shouldn't have asked you." And then he left, out into the rain, his suit soaked, his heart heavier than it had ever been. That night, Lily sat by her window overlooking the city skyline, tears rolling down her cheeks. For once, her world of comfort felt like a prison. She didn't want mansions or money. She wanted someone who had looked at her and seen Lily, not Lily Hartman. Her father entered quietly. "You've been crying." She nodded, silent. He sighed. "If he walked away because of your name, then maybe he's not worth your tears." But Lily knew her father was wrong. Ethan hadn't walked away because of her name. He walked away because he thought he wasn't enough. And that, She couldn't let be the end of their story. 2 days passed, but for Ethan, time felt heavier than stone. He avoided the hospital, ashamed to face anyone. His phone buzzed with messages he never opened, all from Lily. He couldn't bear to read them. Meanwhile, Lily made a decision that stunned everyone at the hospital. She walked into her father's office, her nurse uniform spotless, eyes fierce with determination. "Dad," she said, "I want to work full-time in the free clinic. No bodyguards. No publicity. Just me." Her father frowned. "That's beneath you, Lily." "No, Dad," she said firmly. "It's real." That afternoon, she headed straight to the small community clinic where Ethan volunteered after his classes. When he saw her walk in, his breath caught. He looked tired, darker circles under his eyes, his hands stained from helping rebuild the roof after a storm. "Lily? What are you doing here?" he asked. She smiled gently. "You once told me you liked people who showed up when no one else did. So, here I am." For hours they worked side by side, treating patients, bandaging wounds, comforting children. There was no CO, no scholarship kid, just two people trying to do something good. As the sun set, Ethan finally turned to her. "Why are you doing this?" She looked at him softly. "Because you showed me what kindness looks like when it has nothing to gain. And I want to live that kind of life." Ethan's walls began to crumble. For the first time since the dance, he smiled. But before he could say another word, a black car pulled up outside. A man stepped out, Lily's father, furious. "Lily," he thundered, "get in the car. Now." The clinic fell silent. Everyone turned as Richard Hartman's voice echoed through the small waiting area. His tailored suit and sharp glare looked wildly out of place among the cracked floors and flickering lights. "Lily," he barked, "you've embarrassed this family enough. Let's go." Ethan stood between them before he even realized it. "Sir, she's helping people. You should be proud of her." Richard's eyes narrowed. "You're the janitor from the hospital, aren't you? The one who thought he could ask my daughter to a school dance?" The words hit like knives, but Ethan didn't flinch. "Yes, sir. That was me. And I'd ask her again, because that was the best night of my life." For a moment, silence filled the room. Lily's eyes glistened. Her father looked at Ethan, at the humility, the courage, the quiet strength, and something in his expression softened. "Why?" Richard finally asked. "Why her?" Ethan took a breath. "Because she's kind when no one's watching. Because she makes people feel seen. Because she treats the janitor like a human being." The room seemed to breathe again. Slowly, Richard's anger faded into something else. Pride, maybe even respect. He turned to Lily. "If this is the life you want, then I won't stand in your way." Weeks later, at a charity gala, Richard stood on stage, announcing the hospital's new Hope Clinic Fund, inspired by his daughter and a student who reminded him of what compassion really means. As applause filled the hall, Lily looked across the room. Ethan stood there, smiling, this time not as a janitor, but as her equal. She whispered, "Told you I'd show up." And under the lights, they shared one last dance, the one that truly changed everything.